Adu, Angu, Hello, tickle, 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 tickle. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Giggly Potions Academy. It's me, your favorite sorceress, Mycelia Quickwittson. Do you like my ponytails? Now, you must be wondering, why is she acting so childish? Has she gone mad? No, I'm perfectly normal. No, last night I brewed this potion for feeling the happy old self, as happy as you felt when you were a child. And ever since I took a sip from this potion, I've been feeling very playful and joyful, and like the world is such a beautiful place to be. You can feel the same way, you know. If you follow me to my potion chamber, I'll teach you how to brew this potion. You're only going to need a few simple ingredients. Let's go! Whee! Butterflies! And the first ingredient we're going to add to a potion is a cup of being delusional. Good riddance. So, in order to become your happier childhood self, you need to lie to yourself just a tiny bit, lie about your future and the future of humanity, just let's start with yourself. You need to lie that eating, I don't know, that kale, spinach, I don't know, quinoa salad is gonna add 10 years to your life. You have to tell yourself this. Hiking, cardio workouts, they're good for you. They're gonna add 10 years to your life. Tell yourself this. It's a must. Okay. Also, tell yourself that hobby you've been investing so much time in, that claymation project, is going to work out in the end for you. It's going to give you that stability, financial stability you craved for. Tell that someone one day will truly know you and love you for yourself and accept you for who you are. You must lie to yourself. Tell yourself this. It's a must. Also, tell yourself that you're going to overcome your childhood trauma, that one day you're going to consciously catch your thoughts and your feelings and prevent yourself from repeating the same mistakes over and over again. How hard can it be to catch your own thoughts and feelings consciously? Piece of cake. Also, tell yourself that life gets better as you age. You're going to become a more accomplished and wiser version of yourself. Have you seen those reports that actually happiness levels increase as people age? Trust those reports. Even though old people have a tendency to lie about things just to feel better about aging, but it doesn't matter. Trust the reports, okay? Even sit down with your grandparents, healthier grandparents, and ask them about their life, about their experiences of getting older, and they'll convince you that life gets better as you age. That humanity, you need to tell yourself that humanity is going to become a more evolved, peaceful, and wiser place to be. We're not going to destroy ourselves in, I don't know, nuclear war or be led by sociopathic leaders. No. Have you seen our leaders lately? They seem nice. A cup of Be Delusional. Let's stir. And the next ingredient we're going to add to our potion is a Petal of Age in reverse. And this ingredient does wonders for you, for your happiness level. So what you're doing, your whole mind changes. It goes from being very grim and dark and hopeless into hopeful and joyful and playful, because now you're not hurrying towards death, you're rejuvenating into childhood, when you were young and free and others worried about you, others fed you and clothed you. There's no more paying the bills, no more KPIs, no more project management software, no more forced team meeting buildings. No. The only thing you worry about now is where your friends at, so you can play. You're thinking about flowers and bees and unicorns and sunshine. No more waking up in the morning wondering if you'll have back pain, or I don't know, if you'll find a new wrinkle on your face. No. Now you wake up in the morning thinking, well, you're not thinking anything because there's not a single worry on your mind. No more wondering, if I don't do my 10K steps, will I be able to bend down and pick up the socks? No more wondering If I order that second cocktail, will I have a migraine for the next 3 days? No more checking the weather app to see what sweater you're going to wear because you're not wearing a crop top for sure. No more shopping for blenders or worse, air fryers. No one is bugging you now with questions like, when are you getting married or when are you multiplying? Now, everyone tells you, oh, you're so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't rush into anything. Such a lovely ingredient, aging in reverse. Let's stir. And the next ingredient we're going to add to a potion is a cloth of don't have a clue who you really are. Such an amazing ingredient. Why? Because it distracts you from figuring out who you really are at your core. Going down, doing self reflection will only bring more misery and pain and darkness because you'll uncover some very uncomfortable truths about yourself. You won't find roses or dollar bills or I don't know, butterflies inside there. No, you're going to find some hard truths that you buried deep inside yourself in order to survive. Because if you sit down and start thinking about your childhood, you're going to learn that you're traumatized. Yes, you're traumatized. Yeah, we all know that. But then you'll learn that maybe you seek fame and attention because someone didn't love you properly, didn't give you the attention you needed when you were a child, or that you don't trust yourself because someone was overly critical of yourself when you were a child. You'll find out that you're anxious because of this, of something that happened in your past, or have low self-esteem, self-worth, overthink. It's going to get very nasty. So journaling is your enemy. Also sitting in silence, meditating. Don't go to psychologists, Now, don't spend money and time, for making yourself more miserable than you already are. What you want to do is distract yourself from yourself as much as you can. What you want to do is just travel the world, watch Netflix shows, go to the movies, hang out with your friends, do anything, just not to sit in silence and try to uncover some truths about yourself. Don't do it, okay? Have no idea who you really are, and then you're gonna move through life very carefreely. Let's stir. And the next ingredient we're going to add is a splash of forget all of your experiences. I love it when I use magic. So what this ingredient does, it helps you forget all of the memories and experiences you've accumulated so far. Why? Because you not go back to your happy, playful old self with all of those experiences and memories you have. Because what? If you're in your late 20s, your early 30s, you probably had a few uncomfortable things in your life happen, like heartbreaks, breaking up with a best friend, feeling miserable, feeling lonely, not feeling fulfilled with yourself. So you have to forget all of these memories, all those nights when you had a heartbreak, when you sat alone in your apartment thinking about the one that got away. Now you might laugh, it might seem funny, but at the time it wasn't. You listened to your favorite sad songs, on full volume, and you cried and you cried and you cried. It was in immense pain. So unless you forget about it, you cannot go back to being your happy self, or parting ways with a best friend because life led you to different directions, or facing death for the first time, the death of someone close that you really loved, that raised you. These are very uncomfortable, dark things that have happened in your life, and you cannot be happy unless you unlive them. I'm sorry, that's the truth. All of those melancholies, anxiety that you felt, that overthinking, those days when you were alone and were overthinking the same thing over and over again, the time when you made a fool of yourself, in front of someone that you wanted to impress. Yeah, unless you wipe everything off your memory, you're not going to be happy. Wipe, wipe, wipe. Let's stir. And And the last ingredient we're going to add to our potion is a peel of wear your hair in a ponytail. So if the other ingredients don't work, this one will, because it's one of the most powerful ingredients we're using today. Just wearing your hair in a ponytail, it gives you this sense of playfulness immediately. It puts you in this spirit of childhood. You feel very liberated and young and wild and free. There's something about having your hair in a ponytail and your whole hair is dangling, and you move your hair back and forth. You instantly feel like a child. You should, wear your hair in a ponytail more often to trick your brain that you're still a child. Maybe wear your hair in a ponytail, get your bike and just, play your favorite childhood song. Immediately you're going to feel that happy old self again. Just trick yourself, play some mental tricks on yourself. Maybe even get a hoop, play with a hula hoop or the yo-yo. Just do anything to trick your mind into being happy again and forget the worries about the world. Let's stir. Now our potion is, you guessed it, all ready to be bottled up. And that's it for today's lesson. I hope you learned a thing or two, or at least I made you giggle. Or maybe I helped you realize that any fool can open up a YouTube channel and pretend they know what they're talking about. Don't listen to me, I'm talking nonsense here. But something is bugging me, and you know what? It took me around 4 hours to create this lesson for you, and it took you what, 10 minutes to watch it? Do you think that's fair? No, really, do you think that's fair? I don't think it is. So if you want to make it up to me, just a suggestion, if you want to make it up to me, why don't you subscribe to my channel? And also, while you're at it, why don't you also subscribe to the Giggly Potions Academy newsletter? I'll leave the link in the description box below for you. And before we go, don't forget this. It's very important. Potion brewing is cheaper than therapy. Okay, cheers. Toodaloo.